Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're back with another review. And today we're taking a look at, finally, just as Transformers Commanders Class Beast Wars Universe Magmatron. Now, a few things up front. I know nothing of Beast Wars Neo. I really don't know much about Magmatron except that it was the combined form of three dinosaurs, which we have right here: Landsaur, Seasaur, and Skysaur. Um, there's a robot mode, and then there's a combined beast dinosaur mode that's like a chimera. The original toy was fairly popular, at least in Japan. It was released as a Maximal, believe it or not. This is actually a Predacon leader, but it was released as a Maximal in the US as a leader of the Dinobots. I got this figure from Big Bad Toy Store. It's available there. Now I still think, or a short pre-order, but there it's also available from Command Store. And I believe Amazon pre-orders will start shipping at the end of the month, which is May 2024. So the best way I think we can tackle this is we will take a look at each dinosaur individually, and in doing so, I will also prepare it for the Chimera mode. So we'll pause and take a look at Landsaur. Okay, I do also want to apologize, but due to the nature of the size of these dinosaurs, I do have to have my camera pulled back. So I do apologize about seeing the bare sides. I usually like to keep those out. But let me just say very quickly, Landsaur and Seesaw, very dense leader class figures. So I guess you can go, there's the price point for the commander class, Skysaur is whatever, it forms the head. Um, Landsaur is kind of interesting. It's not a T-Rex. I think it's like a Megasaurus or something like that. I don't know, but the jaw does open and close just a little bit. You do have some head waggle. Now you have to be careful with it because you can end up exposing some joints back there. And what's nice is there is some tail articulation and a lot of, oh, even up and down. A lot of that is actually for the transformation, but also for just being able to limit the shelf space that this figure would take up. Now, getting down to the feet and the legs, they are very articulated. You got ankle rockers, forward and back pivot. But here's the other thing, and this is accurate to the toy. Um, it is, I'm not going to say it's hollow, but you have a lot of the robot junk going on inside there. And believe it or not, if you're seeing what should be parts of a Seesaw, that's correct. A Landsaur actually had a lot of the Seesaw bits uh, uh, built in. So really, you can't move the legs that much unless you want to expose those bits. Now, to prepare it for the uh, the the Magmasaurus mode, as they call it, you want to come up here and flip up this panel, or no, actually, sorry, this panel right here, and that's about it. In this mode, Seesaws does the lion's share of work, so I figure we'll pause and take a look at that figure right now. Okay, so here's Seesaws, and like I mentioned with Landsaurs, very dense, very heavy. This is very solid. You got a lot of parts going on inside here. Seesaurus, I would say, is probably the most articulated of the components of Magmatron. The head is on these swivel ball joints that can, pose around and stuff. You can get them doing different things. So there is that, and the mouth does open quite widely and close. Now, again, I am not familiar with the show, so I don't know if the individual dinosaurs had any sentience to them and would actually speak or anything like that. To prepare seesaw, oh, and the fins here in the front are on ball joints. These just are just fixed, but you'll see why in a second. Now, to prepare this for combined mode, what I would do is straighten the head out a little, and then flip the whole section back, pegs in right there. And then what you want to do is come in and unpeg that section, flip this section down. There's a tab right there. And then what we're going to do is split it apart. Just come in, pry it apart. We'll put this off to the side for a second. And now what you're going to do is rotate the fins around on the ball joints and then swivel them forward on a slider there. And then with this section, come in, flip up this piece right there, that the little connector bit, and then close down uh, these side panels until they snap into place. And yes, this one does stick out. Now, just so you know, not only is this part of the Chimera, this is the form for the uh, Magmasaurus, but this is also the shield mode. So really, when it comes to this section, you have it for seesaw mode and shield mode. So there's that. We'll put this off to the side right now. And I'm just going to put it really off to the side because a lot of the work actually now comes to this mode. And just fold that tip out of the way. And you're going to fold down these sides. And this will now allow you to tilt this section forward, bringing out, uh, tilting up the section with the arms, and we're going to rotate just like so. And you want to, when you're looking at it like this, the gold shoulder goes to the right. So unpeg the arms, rotate them around. And let me just say the instructions kind of confuse how you fold the arms up for seesaw mode. Basically, what you need to know is that number one, there are posts, tabs on the hands that go into slots in the shoulders. So you need to be able to bend the elbows to fold them up, but you also have to rotate the fist so they tab in. That is not clearly shown in the instructions. They just show you to rotate the forearms around at the bicep, but they don't show you to rotate the fist. What you're going to do now is rotate the fist on this side so it's matching like that. And now we're going to open up the panels, have the arms come down like this, and then we're going to open up the hands all the way, uh, the claw part and the thumb, and this will form a sort of a pair of feet. Now we're going to work with and you want to unpeg them from the shoulders just a little. We're going to work with them a little. You'll see in a second. But first off, what you want to do, you know what? I got this facing the wrong way. Watch this. Just rotate. There we go. Yeah, you want it. This is actually this part right here with this little tail thingy. That's the front. So flip up this section right here. That's a connector. And now what you're going to do is come into these side panels and you're going to flip them out. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold them up and fold up these side panels. And you're just going to keep that straight, keep that up. And there's like a little tab that will just peg in like so. And that will help you with the angle the proper angle for the combined mode. And try to keep the tail here out of the way. Don't worry, that'll straighten itself out. You can bring that up a little. And yeah, you do want it on an angle like this. Try to you can try now, but really once everything's combined, that's when you'll start flipping around and straightening out the limbs and all that stuff. And yep, you know what? You got to also rotate so that the elbow is facing forward. That's another important part. So make sure the elbow is facing forward. Oh, and the instructions show you to do this later, but just go ahead and flip out these panels now here at the front. it'll make your life make your life a lot easier doing it now. So you kind of, I mean, you can, eh, eh. Like I said, I'm doing a little fiddling now, but this is it. Here's the whole bit right here. So all that's left is to get Seesaw ready. Excuse me, Skysoar ready, which we're going to do right now. Okay, Skysoar, I would say, is the oddest of the bunch. The way the joints work, it seems like the combined modes were preference first over having a normal looking pteranodon or pterodactyl. But basically, what you want to do is close the mouth up, straighten the head out, rotate the limbs forward like so, and then straighten out the feet. And again, there's going to be some fiddling. I also recommend getting the wings back a little. That just give yourself some space to work with. There's going to be some fiddling and stuff, but you'll see how it's all going to come together. But that's actually it for Skysoar. So let me bring in Landsoar and Seesaw, and we'll start the combination. Okay, so I do have the parts here. And by the way, for those of you wondering at home, yes, I do actually still have the sword attached. The first thing you want to do is you want to come in and you'll see this long clip section here. That will go in into that clip section right there on the bottom. And that will just friction into place. And while you're doing that, it will also clip into place back here that on that section that we first brought up. So let me just, it's a little tricky to see, but you'll get it. I think you've heard this before, but it's easier to do when you're not on camera. So just, there we go. Okay. So then the next part is you want to fold up these panels, and there's a tab. Excuse me, on Landsoar, there's a hole, and that's where that tab will fit into. And then just you can just bring up this section. It really, the instructions show it just hanging out like that. I mean, maybe it's supposed to slip in there. I don't know. Here, I slipped it in. I don't remember. Originally, I didn't have it like that, but let me just move the tail up. But you can see it is actually secured in place here, here, and here. And now we're going to go ahead and bring this part down, and you'll see uh, there's like a tab here. There's a tab here on the tail, goes into a slot in the shield, and then there's the post here in the clip will go into the hole in the shield. So that's another section of how it's going to uh, combine. And and it just, you might have to like switch around sides a little. There we go. And there are little tabs in the shoulder here, that section, that go into these folded panels. So again, you have it secured, and then you bring up that back section with the head, with the tail, which is now the tail, and that will friction into place. So at this point, sort of bend the elbow slightly to get the arms down, fiddle with the, this is the tail, so uh, it is meant to bend forward this way. So there you have, for the most part, the main part to the Chimera or Magmasaurus. Finally, we're going to bring in Skysaur. And this this is the funniest part, because basically it's going to come in like this, and there's a tab here that will fit into the back section. Get those legs up just like that. And then this will clip here and the head folds back. Basically, that little divot in the that part of Seasaurus is strictly for the head to fit in. And then there's a tab right here by the butt of Skysoar that will slot in to a post on Landsoar, and then you just bring the feet down and around like that. Uh, you can at this point, if you want, spread the wings out. Way not enough space here. Hold on. Here you go. And here we have Magmasaurus, the Chimera. But wait, we're not done. The actual instructions show you mouth open, head forward, mouth open. Even though that divot is there, bring the head up, mouth open. So you have basically three dinosaurs running forward. Or as some other reviewers have said, this basic, if you position the legs just so, get those feet up, it basically looks like Landsoar and Seasoar are rushing um, Skysoar to the hospital to give birth. But yes, that's hysterical. But again, I have to say, heavy, dense, and this is very secure. I really want to stress that. Even Skysoar, everything locks in, clicks into place. I don't know about the original toy, but this is actually, I'm very impressed by the stability of it. Now, frankly, if it's me, I'm just going to display it uh, like this with the head down, tabbed in, these wings out. I mean, you could bring them up like this. Here, bring the claws forward. That's how I would display it, and it looks really cool. But that's not what you're here for. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little. That's really not what you're here for. You're here for Magmatron. And I'm going to take everything apart and we're going to get into the combinations right after this. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to go from the Chimera mode, the Magmasaurus mode, into Magmatron. So go ahead, flip the wings up like that, rotate them back as if going into beast mode, and then rotate the claws. And I don't like how these claws were done, but rotate them down on the ball joint so they're sitting flat like that. Bring the head up, I'm sorry, the arms up, bring the head up too, and then you're going to pull it all the way down, open the stomach, flip up the head like so. Um, and let's just make sure we get that all. And basically, the head will sit like this. Bring up the legs. I mean, a lot of this will be done when we finish the combine mode. I'd leave the wings up like that for now. There is head swivel, but you'll see it's actually somewhat limited um, in the robot mode. But there is the head of Magmatron. Great update right there. So there's that. Um, we'll pause and we're going to go to Seesaw next, who, along with Landsaw, does the bulk of the robot mode. Okay, so here's Seesaw, and like I said, this part is the shield. It's all set, ready to go. So get that off to the side. Now, we're going to set up this to form the arms and the backpack. So the first thing you want to do is unpeg these sections here from the shoulders. Flip this connector back in, flip these panels back up, um, flip these panels back down and around, and they'll peg back into place here. They're strictly for the land sword, uh, uh, who'chamacallit mode, who'chamacallit, the Chimera mode. Bring the arms forward like this. Bring the hands around. Close them up. Do it again on this side. You know, bring it around on the wrist joint. Flip this straight back. You would think you would want to fold it up. It does not fold up along the back there. Flip these panels all the way down and around. And then what's going to happen is they're going to swing forward, and there are these little peg holes. Oh no, I guess not. They don't peg into place. Oh, my mistake. I thought there were peg holes there. These tabs are going to peg into the back of the shoulders. That will hold this section into place. Maybe give yourself a little room there to work with. Ring this up on the back. The instructions kind of make you think that this little tab right here pegs into something. It doesn't. There's not enough clearance. So the final thing you want to do is finagle the limbs around to allow the head here of Seesaw. There's a hole right under the neck, peg into the shoulder. And we're just going to do it like that. I'm sure there's like an official way every joint is supposed to bend to do this, but just get it like that, and that looks fine. Um, so basically, this is the arms and back of Magmatron ready to roll, and now all we got to do is prepare Landsor. Okay, with Landsor, there's actually a little bit of parts forming. The first thing you want to do is come to the tail here and just pull out the section that's going to form the blade of the sword. It actually pegs in there quite tightly, which is kind of surprising since this sword is incredibly soft and floppy. At this point, I want to mention that there are um, blast effects, but they're that soft, gummy plastic, and they just don't work well. The next step I would recommend, and is actually coming in underneath, and you're going to fold out the heels and the actually toe spurs for robot mode. So let's flip those out. Make sure they come all the way through. Pull them up, and then just start straightening the leg out. And you're going to pull out this back section here that's going to peg into the heel. So you'll know you'll have everything set up when it pegs in, and then plug in that hydraulic section. So don't worry about straightening the limbs out too much. Just, get them out of the way, make your life easy. And then do it again on this side. The first couple of times you do it, you might need a spudger. I did. So there's that. Boom. Pull these out. Straighten out the leg. Bring out this back section. Plug it into the heel. Bring it down. Just like that. And now, what are we going to do? Come to the front here. Peg the dinosaur arms into the side of the neck. Open up these panels with that back panel up. Bring down this section. Uh, it's going to pop out from there, so you can now kind of straighten the legs out. Bring up that back section. You got something going on here. On the original toy, this I actually found out. This was the neck, and this whole section was connected to the arms and swung around. So that's a little bit different. Now this is actually going to form the hilt of the sword. So you fold that up, tap it into place, bring that back, um, actually bring that down, and then these panels, and you have to fold that section down first, will fold down along the side. It is kind of annoying, but then you can close this up, tab it into place, bring the grip down. This originally was a missile launcher. Ain't gonna launch anything now. And it's supposed to maybe be a blaster, but if you fold it up to be a blaster, it doesn't work. So there's the sword. Let me get it out of the way. And now to finish off the transformation, bring this up, uh, unpeg that section. You want to bring these down. These are like the hip, these will be the hip skirts. Rotate that off to the side. Bring this down. This will sit, what was the little neck jowl flap? That'll sit right there. Flip up the throat piece right there. That'll free up so that becomes a shoulder pad. Unpeg this section, rotate it up, um, rotate it inward. There are there are posts, there are tabs. That'll peg into place, and then bring this whole section down. It'll tab down. Part of me wants to say I think that's supposed to sit like that for the time being. In fact, do that just to give yourself some space and less agita. The first thing you want to bring in for the combination is Skysoar. There's a slot here on the neck that will go into that purple tab right there. And there are grooves um, in the heels that will slide over like that. And it's just, uh, it's one of those things where you got to position everything, and it really it's hard to show because you got to do both sides at the same time, but it does work out. I think I got it now. Yeah, I think they go back like this, and now it slides in. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay. All right. And it's just oh god. This is going on almost 20 minutes. Uh God, I apologize for this, folks, but you know what? Sometimes you got to see this and see how things are made. But okay. So the arms come up like this. They don't sit flat or flush. I mean, the instructions, again, everything's in black and white. God forbid there's a clear photo of it. But with that done like that, let's come back, get this back into position. Did I mention, by the way, how this is like packaged and it's basically they have to show you how to transform it to get it out of the packaging. So this will clip in there, and then yeah, okay, there we go. And now just bring those down like that, down like that. Oh, cry manitly, there's Magmatron in its robot mode. Holy piece of work. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh my god. Oh god, that was like the slightest, as you see, the slightest little thing can make it off. And
And apparently these got to come out like that. This is like even almost too big for my light box. Here, uh, you got to rotate the arm sideways. There's a post. There's the shield. It goes in like that. Here's the sword. It holds the sword. 20 minutes. Oh my god. I'm going to like edit some of that out. Here, if you want like I think they also kind of show the wings fully extended. There are swords in the wings it can hold. I have no patience for that. As you can see, it's easier to turn its head this way than this way because, if you position the dinosaur wing back more, you can. But yeah, that's Magmatron. Ratchet knees, friction hips, ratchet elbows. The sword is floppy as all get out. Let me just go to my final thoughts and end this.
I had transformed Magmatron quite a few times just to get ready, so I don't know what happened here in the review. I do apologize. It's a nice enough figure. If you're, a Beast Wars fan, pick it up. If you're not, maybe wait. The sword is incredibly floppy. I'm really disappointed about that. The blast effects are virtually useless. I'm like dripping in sweat. And as you can see, the slightest little error, it's not easy to fix. But then again, that's actually par for the course because apparently Beast Wars Neo figures were incredibly difficult, and this is none the difference. But it's nice. I mean, it is actually kind of fun when things go together and it all pops into place. And let me just again say, like the Magmasaurus mode, Magmatron is very solid. Um, yeah, there is some articulation limitations due to the giant wings on the head and the giant shield, but you can work around it. There's even a waist swivel in this figure. You just got to move things out of the way. So, you know, it's there. It's just, guy like me, has problems. Well, um, that's about it for the review. If you like the review, like, comment, subscribe. Go to my Patreon, www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. You know the deal. $1 a month, $12 a year. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. Thank you so much for watching. Your patience, your support is just so, so appreciated. Once again, for Magmatron, this is your old pal Chuck. We will see you next time.